Was soll ich sagen? No, they haven't. Shilpa Karini will translate. She is here.
Yes, she's here.
Draupadi,
Shilpa.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vikaki. Was soll ich sagen?
Okay.
Shilpa is here.
Yes, I'm here. Hare Krishna.
Where are you?
I'm in Galaxy. Galaxy.
Galaxy J7.
You are in where?
Galaxy G7 2016.
I don't understand. Okay, you hear Shilpi?
Yes,
You
I'm
hear me?
under. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, very good.
Yes,
You with the Galaxy phone?
yes.
Okay. I keep you in the eye.
Galaxy G7 2016.
Allah. I don't understand. Oh, Galaxy, yes. I see you. You're right in the center. That means we can talk. That means you have to switch off all your microphone. Only Shilpa keep. Switch off. Okay, you hear me?
Yes.
You hear? Okay. Good. We have not a singer, huh? So we can directly start. I will chant some mantras first.
Bate mikrofone, isključite.
Microphone off, please. Only Shilpa Karini keeps on. Okay. Tibor, you hear me? Okay, he will not speak now. Okay, we'll chant some auspicious mantras for the glorification of Lord Balaram, and then I will say something about it. Okay?
Prvo ćemo mantrati mantre za povoljnost pojave gospodina Balarama i onda ćemo pričati nekoliko poenti.
So there's one Maha mantra or a Prana mantra of Lord Balaram with 8 names.
Ima jedna prana mantra gospodina Balarama sa 8 imena.
So I will recite them.
Ja ću ih recitovati.
Namaste Halagraha, Namaste Mushalayudha, Namaste Revati Kanta, Namaste Bhaktavatsala, Namaste Dharanidhara, Namaste Balaram Shrestha, Pralambare Namaste Stu, Ehimam Krishna Purvacha. Mahasiva Pushi Vishate Vasanam Chalatapam Alahati Piti Militam Yamunavam Keshapatrita Alatara Rupa Chachakati Sahare. Devadi Deva Bhagavan Kamapala Namostuste Namanantaya Sheshaya Sakshat Ramaya Te Namaha Dharadharaya Purnaya Svatamne Sirapanaye Sahasra Shirase Nityam Nama Sankashanayate. Revati Ramanatvam Vai Baladeva Chutakracha Halayuta Pralambakya Pahimam Purushottama Palaya Palapatraya Talankaya Namo Namaha Nilambaraya Gauraya Rauhinaya Te Namaha Enukarir Mustikari Kutarir Balavantakaha Rukmyati Kupakarnari Kumpandaristvam Evahi Kalindi Vedanositvam Astinapura Kashaka Vividarir Yatavendro Rajamandala Mandanaha Kamsa Pratri Prahantasi Tirtha Yatra Kara Prabhu Duryodhana Kuro Sakshat Pahi Pahi Prabhu Atha Jaya Jayuchata Deva Para Para Swayam Ananta Tikanta Kata Shruta Sura Munindra Panindra Charayate Mushalini Aline Namaha. So today we have auspicious day of Balarama Purnima.
Danas je povoljan dan Balarama Purnima.
So Purnima means full moon.
Purnima znači pun mesec.
So Lord Ramachandra appeared in full moon and Lord Krishna appeared in Astami. That means in the 8th day of the waning moon.
Gospodin Krišna se pojavio na Aštami, a gospodin Ramachandra isto na puni mesec. Aštami znači osmi dan od punog meseca.
Lord Ramachandra appeared on Novi,
A gospodin Ramachandra na Navami,
the ninth day of the
na
waxing moon.
9. dan.
So in this way, the Lord, whenever he appears, all the constellation of the moon and the stars appear very auspiciously.
Na taj način, kad god se gospodin pojavljuje, sve konstelacije, zvezda i planeta su jako, jako povoljne.
All avatars, they come, avara means coming down, they're not a conditioned soul or conditioned by material nature.
Sve avare, one nisu kao uslovljene duše, znači pojavljuje se kad je jako povoljno.
So it's described in the Shastra or in the scriptures, and also when we hear if we hear the stories about it, about the appearance, they're very mysterious.
Kada čujemo o njihovim pojavama u šastrama, svetim knjigama, jako su mistične, misteriozne njihove pojave.
Because they're not taking birth like ordinary persons.
Zato što se ne pojavljuju, ne uzimaju rođenje kao obične osobe.
They come with a mission to protect the devotees, to re-establish religious principles, and to destroy the inauspicious items who are covered by darkness, asura.
Oni dolaze sa specijalnom misijom da zaštite bakte, da donesu sve povoljnosti i da unište asure ili demone.
So again and again, avatars are coming.
Iznova i iznova avatari dolaze.
Avatar
pojavljuju
is
se.
always auspicious, he is not inauspicious,
Avatar je uvek povoljan, nikad nije nepovoljan.
because he brings something good for the people in the world,
Zato što donosi dobrobit čovečanstvu.
especially those who are in the mode of goodness, who are interested in dharma or in pious activities, and who are pure. They're very inspired when they hear about the Lord's appearance.
specijalno za one koji su u vrlini, koji imaju tendenciju da ispunjavaju darmu. Specijalno oni osjećaju jako veliko zadovoljstvo kad čuju o njihovim pojavama.
Those who are atheistic, they shake when they hear God appears.
A oni koji su ateisti, oni se tresu kada čuju da se Gospod pojavljuje.
So therefore, these two elements, the godly and the ungodly, they're always like day and night. They're not going together.
Zbog toga ova demonska i božanska priroda ne idu nikako ne mogu da idu zajedno.
And wherever there is the godly, there is like the light, sunshine, and there is no darkness. And wherever there is darkness, there is no sunshine.
Gde god je prisutno božansko, uvek je tu prisutna i božanska svetlost, a gde je demonsko ateistično, tu je uvek mračno.
Krishna doesn't have to come to this world because he lost something, he wants to enjoy something here.
Krišna ne treba da dođe u ovaj svet zato što je tu nešto zagubio ili slično.
Because he has a spiritual world, Goloka, where there are so many loving eternal associates.
On ima svoj duhovni svet na Goloki gde su njegovi večni pratioci.
And everything there is has no beginning and no end.
Sve tamo nema ni početak ni kraj.
So Krishna doesn't have to appear, or the avatar doesn't have to appear in a temporary world where there is a constant birth and death taking place.
Krišna i avatari ne moraju da se pojavljuju u svetu gde konstantno imamo rođenje, život, bolest i smrt. Ne moraju da se pojavljuju.
So and he comes especially because of the devotees.
Specijalno dolaze zbog bakta.
The devotees praying for them and then they appear.
Bakte se mole za njih i onda se oni pojave.
So like when before Krishna appeared, the demigods approached Brahma and they were in anxiety because of Mother Earth was in anxiety. So they went with Brahma to the milk ocean and they offer prayers to please the Lord that he will descend.
Pre nego što se Krišna pojavio, polubogovi su otišli zato što su bili u teskobi, uputili su molitve gospodinu Brahmi jer je zemlja bila u teskobi i oni su otišli da zamole za pomoć za majku zemlju.
But he also requested, I will not do everything single-handedly. My expansions and all your demigods should also take part in the human form of life to assist me in my mission.
Ja ništa neću lično uraditi svojom rukom, ali moje ekspanzije, moji reprezentativci će uraditi to. Oni su moja ekspandirana moć.
And you should therefore always, I'll take birth in the very pious family of Vrishni and Yadu.
Oni će uzeti utočište polubogovi u jako moćnim familijama, porodicama Rišija, Jadua.
Vrishni,
da.
And Yadu dynasty.
I u Jadu dinastiji.
There are two famous dynasties where the avatars appear. One is for moon god, Chandra or Soma.
Postoje dve vrste dinastije u kojima se pojavljuju. Jedna je dinastija meseca, Soma.
And the other one is coming from the sun god, from Surya.
I druga dinastija dolazi od boga sunca ili Surje.
Like Ramachandra and his brothers appeared in the Surya dynasty.
Gospodin Ramachandra se pojavio u dinastiji Surje.
Well, somebody has microphone on here. Do I have to switch it off? And Lord Krishna and Balaram, they appeared in the Somavamsa, moon dynasty.
A gospodin Krišna i Balaram su se pojavili u Mesečevoj dinastiji.
So the Vrishni and Yadu dynasty, the famous dynasty from the descendants of the moon god, Chandra.
Vrišni i Jadu dinastije su potomci Mesečeve dinastije od boga Meseca.
And although Krishna is unborn
Čak i ako Krišna nije rođen
and he never has to grow to a certain age and become old and die,
ne mora da dođe da poraste do izvesnog uzrasta i da poraste i da umre.
so he seems to appear and also to grow from childhood to boyhood and then to youth.
Izgleda kao da se rodio, da bude dečak, mladić i tako dalje,
But he never became old.
ali nikad ne bude starac.
He never became old. He never had gray hairs. Krishna's hairs were always very blackish, very beautiful. Keshava.
Krišna uvijek ima divnu crnu kosu i uvijek je lep i zove se Kešava.
And so he always was youthful.
Uvijek je tako mlad.
Even when he was 80, 90, 100 years old, he was still looking like a 16, 17-year-old boy.
Čak i kad je imao 80-90 godina, izgledao je kao 16-godišnjak ili 17-godišnjak.
So Krishna's body never is Sachitanand, is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss.
Krišna je Sačitananda, pun je znanja, blaženstva.
So the first expansion of Krishna is Balaram.
Prva ekspanzija Krišnina je Balara.
Technically, it is called Svayam Prakash.
Tehnički se kaže Svayam Prakash.
That means the practically replica of Lord Krishna, like a second Krishna, but instead of blackish, he had a white complexion, like the moon.
To je prva Krišnina replika, ali umjesto crnpuraste puti, imao je belu put, baš kao poput meseca.
And he had a blue dhoti and Krishna has a yellow dhoti.
Imao je plavi doti, a Krišna žuti doti.
Of course, they have also varieties, but there's always some blue or some yellow in it.
Oni naravno tu imaju varijacije, ali uvek ima malo plavkastog i malo žućkastog.
And they're always very nicely decorated.
I uvek su jako lepo ukrašeni.
And their favorite pastime is cow herding pastime.
Njihova omiljena zabava je da čuvaju krave.
But actually, before Krishna and Balaram grew up in the cow herding pasture of Nanda Maharaj, both of them took birth in Mathura.
Ali pre nego što su otišli kod Nanda Maharaja, oboje su Krišna Balaram se rodili, pojavili u Mathuri.
And although Krishna is the origin of all avatars and the origin, there's nobody his origin because he is Svayam Bhagavan.
Krišna je original svih tih inkarnacija, on je Svayam Bhagavan.
So there's nobody superior than him. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasava Pritya. There's one Krishna and everyone else is his servant.
Samo je jedan Krišna i svi su ostali njegovi slugi.
So, but still, although Krishna is the supreme, the origin of everyone, he takes the role, he accepts the role of becoming a younger brother of Balaram.
Čak i ako je Krišna vrhovni, ima tu suprimaciju, on uzima ulogu kao mlađi brat gospodina Balarama.
So that means Balaram appeared first.
To znači da se Balaram prvi pojavio.
Why Balaram appeared first?
Zašto se Balaram prvi pojavio?
He appeared before Krishna because he's the supreme servitor of Krishna.
On se pojavio zbog toga zato što je on vrhovni sluga Krišna.
Another name or another feature of Balaram is Anantashesh.
Još jedan oblik gospodina Balarama je također Ananta Šeša.
Shesha, he's the supreme servitor of Godhead.
On je vrhovni sluga Svevišnjeg gospodina.
He always makes all kinds of arrangements for the pleasure and comfort of Lord Krishna.
On uvek napravi divne aranžmane i da ugodi gospodinu, da mu
So
da
therefore, he
zadovoljstvo.
becomes Krishna's sitting place,
On postaje Krišnino mesto za sedenje,
Krishna's umbrella, Krishna's shoes,
Krišnin kišobran, Krišnine papuče,
the abode where Krishna appears,
mesto gde se Krišna pojavio.
all the paraphernalia and all the devotees. These are actually all supported by Anantashesh.
Sve bhakti, sva parafenalija su u stvari podržani od gospodina Anantašeša.
Therefore, before Krishna appears, all his entourage appears first, especially his Guru Varg, the seniors.
Zbog toga, pre nego što se Krišna pojavi, sva njegova pratnja se prvo pojavi.
It's called Guru Varg.
To se zove Guru Varg.
Guru Varg means superiors.
To znači oni koji su stariji, superiorniji od
Like
Krišne.
Guru is your superior because he's your teacher. He knows more than you, and therefore he can teach you.
Zbog toga se smatra starijim, zato što zna bolje od tebe i više i može te podučiti.
He takes the disciple takes a subordinate position before Guru.
Zato što učenik treba da uzme poniznu ulogu ispred svog učitelja.
And this way we can learn from the one who knows.
Na taj način možemo učiti od nekog ko nešto zna.
But there's not only Guru who is worshipable. The parents are also equally worshipable.
Ne samo da treba obožavati duhovnog učitelja, roditelje isto treba obožavati.
Because they give you shelter, they give you birth in the human form.
Zato što vam daju utočište, davaju vam ljudski oblik života.
They nourish you, they maintain you, they give you beginning of education.
Daju vam sve što vam je potrebno, daju vam edukaciju.
Therefore, parents are worshipable.
Zato treba obožavati roditelje.
Or the elder brother also, because the elder brother takes care for the younger brother.
Zato i takođe stariji brat koji se brine o mlađoj braći.
So Krishna, because he is the supreme reservoir of all rasas,
Zato što je Krišna vrhovni uživalac svih rasa,
so he is by the arrangement of Yoga Maya or Leela Shakti. All these arrangements were made on the earth before his appearance.
svi ovi aranžmani za pojavu Krišne na planeti Zemlji su prvo aranžirani od sorry, I forgot.
All arrangements were made for that his superiors appeared. That means his father, his mother, his elder
Yes.
brother.
Yes. Svi se pojave pre Krišne. Njegova starija braća, roditelji, svi oni koji su iznad njega.
His abode.
Njegovo prebivalište.
So all these appeared.
Svi oni se pojave. Pre nego što se Krišna pojavi.
So Balarama appeared first.
Prvo se pojavljuje gospodin Balaram.
Because in previous avatar with Ramachandra, he appeared as younger brother.
Zato što u prethodnoj inkarnaciji kao gospodin Ramachandra, on se takođe pojavio kao njegov mlađi brat.
But he had to agree for so many things, for according to the desires of Lord Ramachandra.
On je ispunjavao sve želje gospodina Ramachandra.
So he could not contradict him, because he was the elder brother.
I nije mogao da bude njemu suprotan, da ima suprotno mišljenje, zato što mu je on bio stariji brat.
Although he didn't agree for it, but still he had to agree because the elder brother had the desire for that.
Zato što nije mogao da bude suprotan stav od njega, morao je da se složi, zato što mu je to bio stariji brat.
So he was always very surrendered and subordinated to his brother.
Zato je uvek tako bio predan i uvek počinjen svom starijem bratu.
So Lakshman, he thought, next time when I appear with my Lord, with Krishna, when he appears in Dwapara Yuga, I will not be his younger brother anymore. I will become his older brother.
I Lakšman je rešio, sledeći put kad se moj brat pojavi u Dvapara Jugi, neću više biti njegov brat mlađi, nego ću biti stariji brat.
Because as elder brother, I can tell him sometimes what he should do and what he should not do.
Kao stariji brat mogu da mu naredim šta da radi, a šta ne.
But of course, because of his sentiment that he is actually the eternal servant of Krishna, although he sometimes didn't agree with Krishna, and Krishna made all kinds of tricks
Naravno,
against the plan and desire of Balaram, then Balaram ultimately had to agree.
Naravno, Krišna bi neki put pravio neke aranžmane koji su se možda nisu slagali sa Balaramom, ali Balaram je uvek na kraju morao da se složi sa tim Krišninim aranžmanima koje on pravio.
So that's the sentiment of love.
To je osjećaj ljubavi.
Sentiment of love is more strong than the brain or our what we have in mind.
Taj osjećaj ljubavi je mnogo snažan. Mnogo snažniji nego što mi imamo u svom umu.
So for Balaram, Krishna was his life and soul.
Balaramu život i duša mu je bio Krišna.
So he therefore wherever Krishna went, Balaram went with him.
Zbog toga gde god je Krišna išao, Balaram je išao sa njim.
So anyway, first I will explain something about or tell you something about his appearance. This is quite mysterious, esoteric.
Prvo ću vam reći nešto o njegovoj pojavi, jako je misteriozna i ezoterična.
So as you know, Devaki, the wife of Vasudev, she had 6 daughters first, and they all died one after another.
Kao što znate, Devaki je imala prvo
Sorry, not daughters, sons, 6 sons.
Prvo je imala 6 sinova i kao što znate, svih tih 6 sinova je umrlo prvo.
So then the seventh child that Devaki bore was Balaram.
Sedmi Devakin sin je bio gospodin Balaram.
It was actually Anantashesh, Sankarshan.
U stvari Anantasheša Sankarshan.
Because he made everything proper in her womb so that Krishna would appear.
On je sve pripremio u njenoj materici da bi Krišna mogao da se pojavi.
So, but Devaki is actually not the real mother is not the eternal and real mother of Balaram.
U stvari Devaki nije prava večna majka gospodina Balarama.
The real mother of Balaram is Rohini.
Stvarna prava majka gospodina Balarama je Rohini.
She was another wife of Vasudev. Vasudev had several wives.
Vasudev je imali nekoliko žena i ona je bila jedna od njegovih žena.
Because he was from royal dynasty, Kshatriya, that could have many wives.
Toga što je bio iz kraljevske porodice, bio je Kshatriya, mogao je imati nekoliko žena.
There was Devaki, there was Rohini, there were Deva Rakshita, and so many different wives he had.
On je imao nekoliko žena, Devaki, Rohini i tako dalje. To su sve žene koje on imao.
Another one, Deva Rakshita.
Deva Rakshita isto bila njegova žena.
But Rohini was not in Mathura at that time.
Rohini nije tad bila u maturi.
So Baladev first took birth in the womb of Devaki.
Balaram je prvo se rodio u materici Devaki.
But Devaki was not destined to give birth to Balaram.
Devaki nije imala tu sudbinu da daje rođenje gospodinu Balaramu.
The only so therefore the Lord instructed Maya, Yoga Maya.
Gospodin je dao instrukciju Yoga Maji,
You should enter in the womb of Devaki and create a so-called abortion.
treba da uđeš u matericu Devaki i da tako izaranžiraš abortus.
No, but this is only so-called. It's not real.
Takozvani, ne zaista, nego takozvani.
So you should take that embryo, that child from Devaki, and you go to Nanda Gokul and arrange that it will enter in the womb of Rohini.
Treba da uzmeš taj embrion i da aranžiraš da se taj embrion iz tog mesta pošalje kod Nanda Maharadže i da uđe u matericu Rohini.
So don't ask me now how it could happen. It's mystical.
Nemojte me sad pitati kako se to dešava, to je sve mistično.
Because Yoga Maya is mystical energy of the Lord.
Zato što je Yoga Maja mistična energija gospodina.
So Yoga Maya made this arrangement. So she took the child from Devaki and brought it over to Nanda Gokul and put it in the womb of Rohini.
Yoga Maja je uzela embrion od Devaki i stavila je embrion u matericu Rohini.
So Devaki seemed to have a miscarriage.
Tako je samo izgledalo kao da je Devaki imala abortus,
And there
spontani
was a
pobačaj.
crying going through the whole prison house because they were in prison by Kamsa.
Oni su bili zatvoreni, to se sve dešavalo u zatvoru kod Kamse. Dakle, izvinite, nekom je uključen mikrofon.
And everyone thought, oh, now she has a miscarriage.
I svi su mislili, o sad je imala spontani pobačaj.
But actually what happened is that Balaram took birth and as the son of Rohini.
U stvari što se desilo, Balaram se rodio kao sin Rohini.
And then Yoga Maya.
I onda Yoga Maja.
Yoga Maya appeared actually as the seventh child, as the eighth. Oh, and then after that Krishna appeared.
I onda nakon toga se pojavio Krišna.
As the eighth child of Devaki.
Kao 8. dete Devaki.
And then Kamsa thought, but then Kamsa. The arrangement was made that Krishna became exchanged with a girl, Yoga Maya, Subhadra, who took birth as the daughter of Mother Yashoda, the wife of Nanda Maharaj.
I onda je došlo do te kombinacije, da je došlo do zamene i da su zamenili decu i da se još Yoga Maja pojavila kao Subhadra, kao devojčica koja se rodila kod Nanda Maharadže Yashoda.
So Krishna appeared first in the four-arm form.
Krishna se pojavio prvo u četvororuku.
And on the request of his parents, he accepted the form of a baby with two arms, like as Krishna.
I onda se na molbu svojih roditelja pojavio kao beba u svojoj dvorukoj formi.
And the Lord told them, you should bring me over to Nanda Maharaj's place, cowherd place.
I onda im je rekao, morate me odvesti kod mojih roditelja na mesto kod Nanda Maharadže, tamo gde su pastiri.
And exchanged the baby of Yoga Maya and bring it over to Devaki.
Onda su zamenili, transformisali bebu Yoga Maje i doveli je kod Devaki.
Therefore, Krishna is the son of Yashoda and Maya. That means Subhadra, she is the daughter of Devaki.
Zbog toga tako izgleda da je Krišna sin Jošode, a da je Subhadra ćerka Devaki.
So she became like she was replaced for Krishna. So when Kamsa came to kill Krishna, so he saw that there was a girl.
Kad je Kamsa došao da ubije Krišnu, video je pa ovo je devojčica.
So he wanted to kill her also.
I nju je hteo da ubije.
But the girl slipped up from his hand and accepted the form of Durga.
Ali je devojčica ispala iz njegovih ruku i prihvatila oblik Durge.
And told him, Kamsa, you fool, your enemy who will kill you already took birth in another place.
I onda mu je rekla, Kamsa, ti budalo, pa to dete je već otišlo negde i uzelo rođenje, to dete koje će tebe ubiti.
So therefore Kamsa always wanted to find out where is Krishna, and he sent different kinds of demons to Vrindavan to kill Krishna and also Balaram.
Zbog toga je Kamsa uvek razmišljao i slao demone iznova i iznova u Vrindavan želeći da ubije Krišnu.
So Balaram and Krishna, they took, they were growing up as cowherd boys, gopas.
Zbog toga su Balaram i Krišna odraslili kao dečaci pastiri.
Although actually both of them came from a Kshatriya family.
Iako obojice dolaze iz kšatrijske porodice.
Especially Balaram.
Specijalno Balaram.
And Krishna, he is mostly was growing up and identifying himself as a cowherder and Gopal, that means the protector of the cows.
Krišna dok je rastao i odrastao, specijalno je sebe identifikao kao Gopal, kao dečaka pastira.
So from very beginning of their lives, Krishna and Balaram always were playing together.
I od samog početka svog detinjstva Krišna i Balaram su se uvek igrali zajedno.
They were crawling in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj.
Puzali su po dvorištu Nande Maharadža.
Rolling and playing in the blissful sand of Gokul.
Valjkali su se po prašini u Gokuli.
This blissful sand.
Blissful
Yes.
sand. Aha. Blissful sand.
Blissful sand, happy sand.
U srećnoj prašini.
Happy sand. Because the sand was very happy because it was always touched by Krishna Balaram's lotus feet.
Ta prašina se osjećala blaženstveno zato što su se uvek dodirivala lotosova stopala Krišna i Balarama.
The Sanskrit name of it is Raman Reti.
Sanskritsko ime za ovo se zove Raman Reti.
Rama means supreme happiness.
Rama znači vrhovna sreća.
And Reti means sand or land.
A Reti znači prašina ili zemlja.
So even the sand in Vrindavan is always blissful.
Čak i prašina u Vrindavanu je uvek blažena.
Therefore, the Vaishnavas, even today, they're all in the sand of Braj, in the Raman Reti, and they become very blissful.
Zbog toga i dan danas Vajšnave se valjaju u toj blaženstvenoj prašini Vrindavana i dodiruju totalno blaženstvo.
There are two Raman Retis,
Postoje dva Raman Retija.
One Raman Reti is in Gokul, that means in Mahavan.
Jedan Raman Reti je u Mahavanu.
And the other one is where Krishna Balaram temple is, on the other side of the Yamuna.
A drugi je na drugoj strani Jamune gde su Krišna i Balaram.
In Sri Vrindavan.
U Šri Vrindavanu.
That place where Krishna Balaram temple is also called Raman Reti.
To mesto gde je hram Krišne i Balarama se takođe zove Raman Reti.
The difference between the two Raman Retis is the Raman Reti in Gokul is where Krishna were rolling in their childhood pastimes or babyhood pastimes in the sand, blissful sand of Gokul.
To mesto gde su Krišna i Balaram je mesto gde su se oni valjali u toj blaženoj prašini u Gokuli.
And the other one is where Krishna and Balaram with their cows and with their friends together were strolling through the blissful sand on the riverside of the Yamuna.
I drugo je gde su Krišna i Balaram, njihove kravice, dečaci pastiri na obali Jamune gde su se valjali u blaženoj prašini takođe.
So Srila Prabhupada, he got this land there in Raman Reti.
Šrila Prabhupada je dobio tu zemlju u Raman Retiju.
The blissful land.
Blažena zemlja.
Because nearby the cow herding track went by where the cowherds, Krishna Balaram with their friends and the cows always went along the Yamuna to the different forests.
To je ta zemlja gde su Krišna i Balaram zajedno sa svojim prijateljima odlazili na obale reke Jamune.
It's called the cow herding track.
Zove se pastirski...
Cow herd path.
Aha, pastirski put.
Yeah. Da. So, and Prabhupada, he got this land there.
Prabhupada je dobio tu zemlju, baš tu.
He had such a big desire to make a temple for the devotees there, for his disciples and followers.
On je imao jako veliku želju da napravi hram tamo za svoje učenike i za svoje sledbenike.
And you know, in Vrindavan, there are mostly Radha Krishna temples.
Uglavnom u Vrindavanu su Radha Krishna hramovi.
But Srila Prabhupada, for the sake of preaching, to spread the glories of Gauranitai, so he wanted to establish a Krishna Balaram Mandir.
Da bi sproveo slave Gorni taj, Srila Prabhupada je hteo da osnuje Krishna Balaram temple.
Yes. Of course, Radheshyam also there and Gauranitai.
Naravno, tamo su Radheshyam i Gorni taj.
So he wanted to show to the people in Vrindavan, to the preacher basis, that Krishna Balaram and Gauranitai, they're not different from each other.
On je hteo da pokaže Bridž Basima, ljudima u Vrindavanu, da Krishna i Balaram se ne razlikuju od Gorni taj.
Rajendra Nandana ye, Sachi Sutta Hoila say, Balaram Hoila Nitai. The same Prachendra Nandana, the son of Nanda Maharaj, the king of Braj, became Chaitanya.
Isti taj sin Rajendra Nandana, Krishna, je postao gospodin Chaitanya.
And Balaram became Nitai.
A Balaram je postao Nitai.
And so these two brothers are eternal brothers, and they always appear in the different leelas in the spiritual world and in the material world. They're always together.
Čak ova dva brata su večno zajedno, večno su povezani i uvek se pojavljuju zajedno i u duhovnom i u materijalnom svetu.
We are very happy and lucky today that we have Krishna Balaram Mandir and that we can worship Krishna Balaram also.
Mi smo jako srećni da imamo Krishna Balaram hram i da možemo obožavati Krishnu i Balarama.
So Srila Prabhupada, he was a pioneer, and he had a very wide sight, how to reach Krishna consciousness for the benefit of the whole world and even for the preacher basis.
Srila Prabhupada je imao tu viziju kako da propoveda svesnost Krišne čak i Bridž Basima.
He wanted to show without worshipping Gauranitai, it's very difficult to get the mercy of Radha Krishna.
On je hteo da pokaže da bez obožavanja Gaurnitaja jako je teško dobiti milost Rade i Krišne.
So therefore, we are followers of Lord Chaitanya, followers of Srila Prabhupada. We're worshipping Gauranitai first.
Zbog toga što smo sledbenici Šrila Prabhupada, mi prvo obožavamo gornji taj.
Because only by their mercy we can have shelter in Sri Vrindavan Dham.
Samo njihovom milošću možemo dobiti utočište Šri Vrindavan Dama.
And have access in the eternal Leela with Krishna Balaram and with Radha Shyam.
I da imamo pristup večnoj lili, Krišne i Balarama i Rade Šjam.
So therefore Krishna Balaram worship is very important.
Zbog toga je obožavanje Krišne i Balarama jako, jako važno.
So we worship Krishna not alone, we worship Krishna always with his dear ones, with his dear devotees.
Zato nikad ne obožavamo Krišnu samog. Uvek ga obožavamo sa njegovim jako dragim baktama.
So we try to become servants of the servants of the servants of the dear associates of Krishna.
Pokušavamo da postanemo sluga od slugu onome koji su jako dragi Krišni.
Krishna is very merciful, but his associates, they are more merciful.
Krišna je jako milostiv, ali njegovi pratioci su još milostiviji.
Because they love Krishna so much. They know who Krishna is.
Zato što jako, jako vole Krišnu i znaju ko je Krišna.
And they have great mercy towards others to also connect them with Krishna, or with the reservoir of all pleasure.
Zato što su puni samilosti i žele svakog da povežu sa Krišnom koji je izvor sveg zadovoljstva.
Therefore, Krishna always assists, Balaram always assists Krishna also in spreading Krishna consciousness.
Zbog toga Balaram uvek asistira Krišni da bi se raširila svesnost Krišne.
Actually, there is no difference between Gocharana Leela and Sankirtana Leela.
Nema razlike između Gocharana lile i Sankirtan lile.
Gocharana Leela means Krishna Balaram with their friends and with the cows together as they were protecting the cows.
Gocharana lila znači Krišna Balaram, njihovi drugovi, dečaci pastiri i kravice.
And Sankirtan Leela means Krishna Balaram as Gauranitai, and with their associates they're spreading the holy name.
Sankirtan lila znači Goranitaj, njihovi poverljivi pratioci, da bi širili slave svetog imena.
With the purpose to introduce the Yuga Dharma.
Sa tim smislom da predstave Yuga Dharmu.
So in Dvapara Yuga, when Krishna Balaram appeared, they appeared, as cow protectors.
Zbog toga se pojavljuju kao zaštitnici krava.
It was because that was the profession of Nanda Maharaj.
Zato što je to bilo zanimanje Nanda Maharaja.
Nanda Maharaj was the king of the cow herders. Raja Raj, Nanda.
Nanda Maharaj je bio kralj svih dečaka, svih pastira.
Raja Raj, Nanda. The king, yes. The king of Braj is Nanda.
On je bio kralj svih pastira, Nanda Maharaj.
So whenever Krishna went out with the cows early in the morning,
kad god bi Krishna išao sa kravicama rano ujutru,
especially from Nandagram,
naročito iz Nandagrama,
Krishna and Balaram were living in Nandagram, then they were in the age of Pauganda and Kaishor.
Kad su Krishna i Balaram živeli u Nandaganu, bili su u stanju Pauganda i Kishor.
That's the best time for the children.
To je najbolje vreme za decu.
We all like to be always in this age.
Svi uvek želimo da smo u tim nekim godinama.
The age of Pauganda and Kaishor.
U tom stanju Paugande i Kishora.
because then one has so much energy, enthusiasm to do something.
Imamo toliko entuzijazma, snage da nešto uradimo.
The day seems to not end.
Izgleda da dan nema kraj.
The day seems to be longer than he is when we are older.
Izgleda da su dani tada bili duži nego sad kad ostarimo.
Now, if we are older, we gradually realize the days become shorter.
Ali posle s vremenom shvatimo da dani postaju kraći.
But it's actually not the day who becomes shorter. It's always 24 hours.
Ali dan je uvek traje 24 sata.
The problem is our body becomes slower.
Problem je što naše telo postaje mnogo sporije.
The time is always the same. The time is not moving. Time is eternal.
Vreme je uvek isto, vreme je večno.
But we are moving. Sometimes we move faster and sometimes we move slower.
Vreme je uvek večno, a mi se nekad krećemo brže, a nekada sporije.
Now when we get older, our brain and our bodily function, everything becomes more slower.
Kada postajemo stariji, kako starijimo, naš mozak, naše kretnje, sve postaje usporeno.
Whatever we could do easily when we were teenagers, nowadays becomes very difficult.
Sve ono što smo mogli kao tinejdžeri veoma lako da uradimo, sad postaje tako teško.
So that means the body slows down.
To znači da nam telo usporava.
For everything what we do, we need much more time.
Sve što radimo treba nam mnogo više vremena.
I was just thinking today, how was it possible that previously I could distribute and carry so many books? Nowadays, I could not imagine to do this anymore.
Danas sam baš razmišljao kako sam nekad mogao nositi toliko knjiga i deliti ih, i onda se shvatio da ovih dana to nikako ne bi mogao učiniti.
Then we always have the saying, the good old time.
I uvek imamo taj izraz, dobra stara vremena.
May this time never go away.
Neka ova vremena zauvek ostanu.
But in this material world, we have to go through these time factors and become influenced by it.
Ali u ovom materijalnom svetu pod uticajem smo vremena.
But Krishna and Balaram did become influenced by it. In their full childhood and boyhood, they were so much energetic.
Ali Krishna i Balaram uopšte nisu pod uticajem vremena i u svom detinjstvu, u svom dečaštvu bili su prepuni energije.
And you know, as children, what they do, they like to run and to play ball.
Znate šta deca vole da rade? Da trče, da se igraju s loptom.
Go to the forest and build a hut in the tree.
Da idu u šumu, da grade kućice na drveću.
Going out with our pet animals and playing with them in the forest for the whole day.
Da idu u šumu sa svojim ljubimcima, da se igraju vas celi dan.
And with our friends together.
Sa svojim prijateljima.
And we're playing and we're how you say, fighting together.
Igramo se sa svojim prijateljima, malo se tu kao i koškamo.
These fights seem to be sometimes very grave, but it's just a childhood game. It's temporary.
Neki put ova borba izgleda tako velika, ali to je sve tako uslovno i privremeno. To je samo dečja igra.
So Krishna and Balaram and their friends, they had so much energy. They had so much, how you say, happiness in life, so that they always want to do something. Mischief, something rascaldom. Stealing something, quarreling.
Krishna i Balaram su imali toliko energije.
Huh? You follow?
Da, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fighting with each other, challenging each other.
Uvek su izazivali jedan drugog, borili se, smišljali neke male tako nestašluke.
Everyone wants to show I'm greater than you, I will defeat you today.
Hteli su da pokažu, ma ja sam bolji od tebe, ja ću te danas pobediti.
So these same games that we know actually come from Goloka, from Krishna Balaram's eternal Leela.
U stvari, sve te igre koje su oni sprovodili dolaze sa Goloke, gde se sprovodi večna Krišnina zabava, Krišnina Lila.
Therefore, there's nothing new.
To nije ništa novo.
So Krishna is the original inventor of all the games.
Zbog toga je Krišna vrhovni investitor svih igara.
And he's always enjoying it.
I oni uvek uživaju u tim igrama.
So the first one who rises in the morning in Nandagram is Balaram.
Onaj koji prvi ustaje ujutru je Balaram.
And then Balaram, he blows his buffalo horn.
I gospodin Balaram duva u svoj bufalo rog.
Waking up everyone, especially the cowherd boys.
I sve ih budi, specijalno dečake pastire.
And then everyone comes and they hear Balaram's buffalo shringa horn, buffalo horn, they all come enthusiastically.
I svi kada čuju zov tog roga, njegov zvuk, i svi dođu onako entuzijastično.
And then they're waiting until Krishna will wake up.
I onda svi čekaju da se Krišna probudi.
Krishna is still taking a little sleep later in the night or in the morning.
Krišna još uvek malo duže spava ujutru.
But that doesn't mean that we can sleep longer also.
To ne znači da mi treba isto dugo da spavamo ujutru.
The servant should always rise earlier than the Lord.
Sluge uvek treba ranije da ustanu od svog gospodara.
Otherwise, what kind of servants we are if the Lord has to rise first and then he has to wait until we are coming?
Inače, kakve smo mi to sluge da nas Gospod čeka dok se mi probudimo ujutru?
So therefore, Krishna is the Supreme Lord.
Zbog toga je Krišna vrhovni gospodin.
So he can take a little longer rest in the morning.
On može malo ujutru duže da se odmara.
And Mother Yashoda is coming, waking him up.
Majka Jašoda dolazi i budi ga.
With Madhu Mangala together.
Sa Madhu Mangalom zajedno.
Also rising a little late.
Malo ustaju kasnije.
He's a joker, you know. He's a joker, Vidushaka. Madhu Mangala is a joker. He's an, I would say, a funny boy. He makes always
Madhu
joke.
Mangala je jedan smešan dečak.
Like Serbian.
On pravi sve neke šale.
Like Yugoslavian Serbian, we always like to make jokes. You actually hear me?
Srpski ljudi uvek vole tako neke pošalice, šale, da se šale. Tako i Madhu Mangala isto.
So Madhu Mangala is the original joker.
Yes, I can hear you.
Madhu Mangala is the original joker.
Nešto se... Madhu Mangala je originalni šaljivdžija. Eto, našli smo reč, šaljivdžija.
So therefore he always comes, makes some fun with Krishna.
Izvorni šaljivdžija.
To make Krishna, bring Krishna in good mood.
Uvek dođe, šali se nešto sa Krišnom.
And then Balaram is also coming. You don't hear me?
Da bi doveo Krišnu dobro
you hear me much later than I'm speaking. You don't hear me one to one.
Hello?
Yeah, you don't hear me. You all hear me, my English speaking? Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
we can
now
hear you.
you don't translate anymore now, only speak English. Otherwise getting too long because we have too long interruption for my to your translation because of internet. Sorry. So maybe you have to translate on the
Može to poslije probati. Uđi, uđi.
you should switch off your microphone. Jasti Mataji. Shilpa Karini. So you all hear me? Hearing?
Yes.
Hearing, okay. So then they all go together to the outside because the cowherd boys, they were waiting for Krishna to come. And Krishna is coming, they go milking the cows together. And after milking the cows, they go, Mother Yashoda is calling them for breakfast. Radharani especially was brought from her Yavat, from her place where she was living. She always came in the morning for cooking for Krishna. And there were always a lot of nice breakfast stories. And then the cowherds, then after eating, they're washing mouth, they're chewing some pan, taking a little rest, and then it's time that the cows want to go out. Then they on the pasturing ground. So it was always Krishna Balaram, who is the leader of the cowherds, who is making arrangement that everything that Krishna has a good time, that everything was comfortable him, that they can go out to the pasturing ground with the cows together. And then they were always loitering, or how we say, strolling along the Yamuna. There are five forests on the eastern bank of the Yamuna and 7 forests on the western bank. They all performed every day different kinds of leelas like wrestling and different kinds of sports. So in this way, Balaram was always supporting Krishna in his different, during the day, in the different games. And sometimes Krishna in the noontime, he goes to the Radhakund to meet Radharani and the gopis. At that time, all the cowherd boys are given in charge of Balaram. Krishna is not present then. And then they go further in the different forests like Madhuvan and Kumudavan. Different forests are in Vrindavan or in Braj, 12 forests, and then they have different kinds of pastimes there. And there's one very nice song in Bengali I want to sing of how Balaram was dancing with and imitating the different animals like the peacocks and other birds and other animals with the cowherd boys together, and they were dancing very graciously. And Balaram was the center. And there's a song in Bengali I want to sing to you, and I will read the translation. Nache halatara sange sahacharanande Palaka melia cheno kana kame nache sikhi kane kame unamata hoya valaya kankane nupura charane rana kana pachai kara kara doni kona koriya kundali Haladharana Jai. Shri Dhamma Sudama Subhadra Chuna Kare Dora Vanitala Kare Dora Vanitala Vishala Vrishaba Patra Mahabala Kohena Cha Bhaya Balo Tadeke Vipine Mriga Pakshigane Anande Avasha Hoya Kayata Kokila Shikikula Nache Aladara Mukhachaya Pramara Pramari Utata Parikara Pika Ravapadiya Edasanayana Ananda Magana Vipina Viharatekiya. Translation. Dancing in the company of Haladar, the Gopas mingle with their friends in great bliss, just as the peacocks are maddened with desire and dance when the rain clouds arrive. By their bracelets, bangles, and ankle bells, they resound with profuse dance vibrations, holding hands and forming a circle, Haladara dances. Sridhama, Sudama, Subhadra, and Arjuna, holding hands, dance in rhythm. Vishala, Vrishaba, Bhadrasen, Mahabala, while dancing exclaim, Baya, Baya, oh brother, very nice dancing. Beholding this sight within the forest animals like the deer and the birds become standing in Ananda. The kokilas, cuckoos sing as the peacocks dance, all gazing at the face of Haladar. The male and female bees fly around in groups, and the sound of the cuckoos is all-pervading. Beholding these sports in the forest, Nayana Das is immersed in Ananda. Nayana Ananda is also here. The poet or the writer of this poem is Nayanananda Thakur. So, you all still hear me? Hearing?
Yes, very good.
Because I don't hear anything now, I only speak.
We hear you very well.
Only hear myself. So anyway, I don't want to make too long. It's very, only one point more I want to make. As I already mentioned, there's no difference between the Gocharana and Sankirtan Lila. So the same Dharma, cow protection in other age, because that was Krishna Balaram's profession, cow protectors. Although Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda always desired that they stay home. Why you have to risk and go to the forest and to the dangerous places where the animals are and wild animals and thorns and picky stones, I would say sharp stones in the ground, so you will hurt your feet and you're risking your life, and therefore you should all stay home, don't go out. We have enough cowherd men, they can do this job, and but you should stay home because you're the sons of the king of the cowherds. But Krishna and Balaram together, they always told, why should I stay home? Because we are sons of the cowherders. Our profession is to also cowherding, to protect the cows. This is our dharma. And if we don't learn this from very childhood on, from our father and from in our field here with the cows and the calves together, then how we will learn it later on. So this everyone has to have an occupation, and even Krishna and Balaram, they had occupation, they had a duty. And although they have no duty, they accept duty. Just to give an example to others, that to follow duty is important. We cannot live a life without duty, without responsibility. So Krishna and Balaram, they took up responsibility for taking care for the cows. That's a very wonderful job. Very tough job, but it's very wonderful if one is dedicated to it. Every job, although it is maybe difficult, becomes wonderful if one is dedicated. Without dedication, no success. Life will become very boring, and we only get old, diseased, and die, and always be afraid of a certain thing that maybe will be dangerous in this world, that will come upon us, and we're speculating. But the devotee doesn't have to be afraid. We don't have to have fear, because we are on the protection of Krishna. We're on the protection of the Dharma, what Krishna established. It's eternal. It's the law of nature. It's given by Lord in the universe. That everyone can take shelter in the Sanatana Dharma. And if we actually follow the Dharma given by the Lord, according to our nature, we are born in it, then we become happy. Otherwise, we will not become happy. You can make all kinds of artificial arrangement to become happy. You will not become happy. Even if you're a millionaire, you're not happy. You will only create more hellish life for people in the world. But therefore, whatever money and whatever bodily qualities and intellect we have, we should use in the service of Krishna, not in the use of doing something bad in the world. Hey, shut down the microphone. Somebody has microphone on. So Krishna Balaram followed their Dharma, and they even told to the father and mother, you know, if we don't learn Dharma now, then what's the use of our taking part in a cowherd family? Then Mother Yashoda said, okay, but then you should at least wear shoes, so that your feet, your soft lotus feet, are protected, you know, when you go to the forest. But what Krishna says and Balaram say, no, we don't wear shoes, because our cows also don't wear shoes. So, and if the cows are not wearing shoes, we, the cow herders, we also don't take shoes. We go barefoot. And they were dressed like cow herders, although they were normally in the night when they came back, they were always nicely decorated like royals, you know, like princes. And there was always festival in the evening with many, how we say, evening programs and happenings and dramas and singing and dancing and joking and laughter every night when they came back. And then Mother Yashoda said, okay, boy, you can go. But then she looked at Balaram. Balaram, you're the elder brother. You're the elder brother of Krishna. You should always take care with your friends together, with Mandali Bhadra and with Subhadra Gopa. They belong to Balaram's group. Balaram had his own group of senior Gopas. They're called the Suritsakas. There were younger ones, and there were those ones who had the same age like Krishna, like Sridhama, they had, and Sudama. They had same age like Krishna. They're Priya Saka. So, so Mother Yashoda told to Balaram Haladar. Actually, Mother Yashoda often called Balaram Haladar. In Vrindavan, Balaram is never directly addressed as Balaram, either Haladar, Rohinisuta or Rama or Bala or Balai. Balai. Balai is like Nitai, Balai. Nityananda, Balaram is Balai. So they were, so Mother Yashoda called, Haladar, with your friends together, you should always protect Krishna from all sides. From the left side, right side, from back side, from front side, from all sides, you are surrounding Krishna, so the Krishna may not be attacked. And they were like, they became like Krishna's bodyguards. Although Krishna don't need bodyguard, he's the supreme power himself, but out of sentiment of love and affection towards his mother and to his friends, so he accepted subordination or dependence on his protectors, friends, headed by Balaram. And so then, and therefore Krishna followed his dharma with Balaram together every day without fail. And that was the great joy to stay the whole day in different forests and in different meadows to take care for the cows. And in this age, like Gornitai, Balaram, they came again as Gornitai, and then in this age, they show the example themselves by introducing the Yuga Dharma, Harinama Sankirtan, by doing it themselves. Krishna says, if I will not do myself and give the example how to do it, if I will stay a lazy fellow, then the whole world will follow my example and will go to hell. In the 4th chapter of Gita, no, the 3rd chapter of Gita. But and therefore, I myself will give the example. I follow Dharma so that others in the future who will appear in this world can follow my good example. Don't follow Krishna's example to dance with thousands of gopis. This is not good. This is rascaldom. Don't try to imitate Balaram by drinking too much liquor, Madhu, because Balaram can do that. It's no problem for him. But this is not alcoholic. This is some juice growing from the trees in Vrindavan. This Madhu and Varuni. This is some kind fermented, like honey. If you eat too many sweets and too much honey, then you also become a little intoxicated. Like after a feast, you know, why everyone becomes so jolly? Because you become intoxicated because of so much sugar and food what you are eating. You can also not lift up the Govardhan hill like Krishna did. So certain things we cannot do what Ishvara can do, what the Supreme Controller or Lord can do, because he can do the impossible. So we can only try to become his followers and humble servants. Try to execute the order what the spiritual master is giving us to assist the Lord and his devotees in spreading the Sankirtan movement, in doing something good for your people, and by giving them Krishna and something in relation to Krishna. So this is our duty, this is our job. And that's the way how we can become recognized by the Lord and by the spiritual master and by the Supreme Lord. So therefore, devotional service is a great gift. Nobody should stay unemployed. We should always try to engage according to our duty, according to our nature, in Krishna's service, under the guidance of the devotees, in doing something practical and helpful for us, and also for your society and the world. So, Sri Krishna Balaram Ki Jai. So I will stop here. There's some questions. Shilpa, some questions arrived.
No
Not
questions.
yet.
If nobody has questions, you can send or you can ask.
Is that same with
Bakte, ako neko ima pitanja, postavite ili pošaljite.
Can I have a question? Here is Avaduta.
Yeah, I hear you.
My humble obeisances. Thank you for nice lecture.
Hare Krishna.
I'm just curious, is it same with Balaram like with Krishna, that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, so it is also with Balaram that he is always in Vrindavan, but expansion is out? Or
So I never read about it, but this is also my opinion, my feeling that Balaram in Vrindavan never leaves Vrindavan. Therefore, I heard one time that when Balaram is in Vrindavan, he is actually Ram, he's Havadar, he's Bala, he's a cowherd boy. And Balaram, if you read Krishna book or Bhagavatam 10th canto, it seems to be another Balaram. It's like the Krishna in Vrindavan and the Krishna in Dwaraka seems to be another Krishna. It's yes and no. So it's the mood of Krishna and Balaram always remain in Vrindavan. So they never leave Vrindavan. When they leave Vrindavan, they appeared in the four-armed forms. That means as Vasudev. And for another name of Balaram and also Krishna is Vasudev. And another name of Balaram is Bhagavan. But in Vrindavan, he is never addressed as Bhagavan. Outside of Vrindavan, he is addressed as Vasudev, as Bhagavan, or as Baladev, or as the husband. Yeah, of Revati, the husband of Revati. Revati, she is not in Vrindavan, although in certain temples in underground, they have a deity of Revati there. Because they consider this as a family temple, and because in Vrindavan, Balaram had no gopis to Krishna's time. And actually, Revati is not a gopi. Balaram has his own gopis. But he only met them later on when he came back to Vrindavan as a messenger to bring a message for the gopis and for the inhabitants of Vrindavan, because they felt so much unhappy because of separation of Krishna. So actually Balaram, he was very how we say, compassionate, and he approached Krishna that he like, because you don't go, it seems to, although you get so many invitations that you promise them to come back, but you never do that. So let me go. I will, and I can bring them a message. So Krishna, he was very happy about that. So he gave Balaram a message for the inhabitants of Vrindavan. And therefore, Balaram came back as a messenger. And as soon he came back, came back to Vrindavan, he accepted the Gopa Vesha. That's very interesting if you read in the book. He didn't kept his royal dress in Vrindavan. He changed his dress into Gopa Vesha. So so it looks like that the Balaram, when he comes to Vrindavan, he enters into the mood of Balaram and Krishna and the inhabitants of Vrindavan in Madhurya Lila. That's the difference, you know. In Vrindavan, there's Madhurya Lila predominance. That means sweetness, intimacy without Aishwarya Gyan. And in Dwaraka, Aishwarya Gyan is predominant. Aishwarya Gyan, that means God, Krishna and Balarama are God, they're our protectors, they're our patrons and our lords, you know. So everyone is respecting them very much as such, you know. Out of this etiquette of awe and reverence. Even the queens follow an etiquette there of awe and reverence towards Krishna. But in Vrindavan, you know, this is completely different mood. And this is more spontaneous, more affectionate. Therefore, the Vrindavan rasa is considered the supreme rasa. Okay, Avaduta?
Yes, thank you. I have other question.
Okay, because no one else has questions, so we can tolerate one more from you.
Okay. Well, in Vrindavan, Balaram kills only two demons.
Yeah, 2, 3.
Okay, and they have a.
We don't count all the donkeys what he killed.
Yes, and actually those two demons, Pralambasura and the other one, anyway, I have meaning.
The other one is Denuka.
Yes,
Denuka.
They symbolize ignorance and lust, I think. Is it similar thing? Is it similar thing with the demons who were killed by Balaram outside Vrindavan? That they also have some.
No, that's not the same. Yeah. Actually, this.
They symbolize something.
Yeah, the symbolization comes from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, from his Chaitanya Chandramrita. He wrote a book, it's called Chaitanya Chandramrita. And therein he describes Braja Ras, that means Bhakti Ras in Braj, in Vrindavan. And how a sadhaka can develop and enter in this rasa of Braja Ras, in the loving mellows of Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya Ras. And he says there are some obstacles. There are some obstacles to this spontaneous love to Krishna, to attain Prema Bhakti in Vrindavan. Because Prema Bhakti is only available in Vrindavan, not outside of Vrindavan. Only there. Because there it is spontaneous, it is without Aishwarya. It's Kevala Bhakti. Kevala means unmixed, pure. It's unalloyed, not mixed, like pure gold, not mixed with other metals. This is pure Bhakti, pure Bhakti Ras. Pure Bhakti Ras technically is called Kevala Bhakti, Kevala Bhakti Ras. And this is only available in Vrindavan. Outside of Vrindavan, this is always mixed with Gyan, with the knowledge about that Krishna is God, that he is Bhagavan. But in Vrindavan, this is not like that. And what was the point? No, what was the question?
My question was.
Yes. Now follow again. I lost track now for 1 second. So then in Bhaktivinoda Thakur book Chaitanya Chandramrita, Shikshamrita. So he writes, therefore Krishna with Balaram together removes the demons from who are obstacles to develop Braja Ras. So that means for those who want to make the like to make advancement in loving Krishna, like the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they have to first hear about the stories how Krishna and Balaram destroyed 22 or 24 asuras who came to Vrindavan to disturb Krishna's eternal Leela there. So first we have to hear about these asura stories, how they became killed. And by hearing these stories, this anartha, what every demon is representing, becomes removed or destroyed in our heart or in our consciousness, so that we can enter into this Kevala Bhakti Ras. Okay.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
I want to ask our Avaduta. You okay?
Yes. The demons outside of Vrindavan, they also have some significance.
The demons outside of Vrindavan, they're not in this category.
Okay.
It's only the demons in Vrindavan.
Okay.
That shows, that the demons who could enter Vrindavan to become an obstacle there in the Leela of the Krishna Balaram together, they're very special. And the other demons, they're not counted in this list of Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Okay, thank you.
So it's only these 22 or something. The list is given there. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, next question.
Hare Krishna. I want to go back when you mentioned Srila Prabhupada established worshipping of Krishna Balaram in the form of Gornitai, and it's very essential for us to get Gornitai mercy.
Yeah.
What is pleasing to them in this time when, especially in Serbia, in this lockdown time, we are not registered, we don't have Harinam, books distribution, prasadam distribution. What is the inner mood to please Gornitai?
That's a very nice question. Thank you. We have to understand what is actually meaning of Sankirtan. Sankirtan doesn't mean only street Sankirtan, going out on the street and distributing books and going out and sing together. Sankirtan has also a deeper meaning. It means a more deeper absorption in the chanting of the holy name. That means with affection, with love, free of offenses. This is actually a Sankirtan in chanting the holy name. And the chanting of the holy name you can do everywhere. Lord Chaitanya didn't instruct those whom he met to go out and preach. He gave them instruction. You should chant the holy name, and with whomever comes in contact in your family or in your surrounding, you meet together and you chant Hare Krishna together, and you are having Krishna Katha together, you take Krishna Prasadam together, and you arrange your a Krishna conscious family with your nearest surrounding. So to all the Grihastas, actually most of the devotees here in Serbia, they are Grihastas. And for the Grihastas, it's not advised that you go on traveling Sankirtan and that you go out and distribute books and go on Harinam. because you are situated in the society, you have your profession, you have your family, you have your duties, you have your circle of friends. And so you should try to find out with your intelligence, or with some help of devotees, how to practice Krishna consciousness first of all by yourself and in your nearest surrounding. And there is no obstacle for that. You can do all. Nobody can stop you, because this is your private life. That's your still. This is not how we say, suppressed, right? Hello.
Yes, yes, thank you very much. And also later on, if we can have darshan of Krishna and Balaram and covered boys. Thank you.
Yeah, I will show you then, yeah. Otherwise, you remind me again. Yeah, some other question?
I have question, Guru Maharaj, if I can ask.
Okay.
You said that Balaram is called on by Madri Yashoda Haladar. So I'm interested, is there anybody who calls him Balaram there, or on other different planets they call him differently?
I never heard him that they call him directly Balaram. It's either Balaram, because it's mostly Balaram, Bala, or Rama. Even Krishna is not directly addressed as Krishna mostly in Vrindavan. He's Nanda Nandana, Yashoda Nandana, he's Kanai, Lal, Kanaya Lal, he's Gopal, Govinda, Govinda. So that is more the Vrindavan names of Krishna. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. Very sweet.
Of course, Vrindarika, you still can call him Balaram. We can call him Balaram, but and maybe in Vrindavan they also call him Balaram. But I say in the Leela, I never hear in any story that he is addressed as directly as Balaram. I don't know why, but we can maybe ask one time if you arrive in Gokul or in Goloka. Yeah. Okay. Other question?
There is one question from Dhananjaya Prabhu.
Dhananjaya. Okay.
He wrote, can you say something about symbolism of Balaram's plow? Second question is, should we honor Ekadashi Prasadam on Balaram appearance day after fast?
What is the second question?
Should we honor Ekadashi Prasadam on Balaram appearance day after fast?
No, because it's only half a day fast. It's like a like in like in Guru Tattva. Although he is Vishnu Tattva, but we somehow or other we don't have a full day fast on Balaram's appearance day. It's a half a day. It's not a Ekadasi. It's full feast. That's his mercy. In Krishna's appearance, Lord Chaitanya appearance, in Ramachandra appearance, Nrsingadev appearance, this is Ekadasi fast, breaking in the end, fast breaking. And it's whole day fast. Nityananda is also only half a day. It's also Balaram Nitai. It's a Guru Tattva standard. Okay. The symbolic of Balaram Plow, Haladar. Yeah, if you read in Prabhupada's purports, he says that Balaram was in charge for the cultivation of grains, although I never read directly that he was cultivating grains. It's not directly described. But somehow other it's he's like Vishnu has his symbols, you know, of that you can recognize who is. So he has a chakra, he has a lotus, he has an how to say club. He has club of Sanskrit. Gada, he has Gadra, and he has a Shankha, conch shell. And so on the same symbols of Balaram, so that you can recognize him when Balaram comes to you. So he has the mushala, that means the club, it's kind of club, and he has the plow. These are his two symbols. So he can use also this plow sometimes as weapon, as we heard. So he drags the Yamuna near to him, or Hastinapur also. But Prabhupada says he was also cultivating the land because they were cow herders. They had bulls, and you know, if you have many bulls, they should be engaged. Otherwise, they become wild, crazy. So they have to be engaged in agriculture. And we heard they had a lot of agriculture. Otherwise, how they could do yagya, sacrifices. But this is not especially mentioned because Balaram is mostly mentioned in relation with Krishna and with the cow herding pastimes, like that. So more I also don't know now. Something for the research workers. I'm not a research worker. Yeah.
One more question.
May I ask a question, please?
Who?
Radha Sharana is speaking here.
Radha Sharana. Okay, you never ask a question. It's good that you ask one.
Thank you. You mentioned several times about the devotees should engage in their prescribed duties and be in the society and work and etc. But somehow there is a opinion going on among some devotees in Serbia that they, because they are brahmanas, they should not work, and then they stay at home, even grihastas, and then they ask for some help with money, etc. On the other hand, because I have been working for so long, in the years I see that maybe, I think sometimes that maybe they are right, because Krishna provides them anyhow, and I am working and struggling with sadhana and everything. So how to balance these things? This is my question. What is the right thing to do, actually?
Yeah, it's a good if you have brahmanas who are able to inspire the devotees, guide the devotees, educate them, doing yagyas and showing you how to do puja. Brahmana means teacher. And if the society feels a need of a teacher, you know, that they are happy and that somebody is around who is a very expert, they should actually employ him. Then it's a pity if he has to go to take up a clerk job, you know, or any kind of job with a little salary here in Serbia. If he has an opportunity to help the devotees in and teach them, you know. And then naturally, without the Brahmana asking you, you should actually give donation, because a Brahmana doesn't have salary. A Brahmana who has a salary, he's not a Brahmana. He becomes Shudra, because he becomes dependent on the money giver. The one who is the money giver, he has the saying. He has to tell. You have to follow that what he wants. And the Brahmana cannot accept that, because then he's Shudra. He becomes subordinate. But the Brahmana is a kind of an autocrat. He's the head of the society. So you have to give him this freedom. Of course, he has to be Paka Brahmana, who is really able to guide and to inspire the devotees in the different duties and samskaras, and follow the different processes in bhakti yoga process. So this is very valuable, and the society should support such brahmanas with whatever donations you can give. Although to Prabhupada's time, he didn't like that those who were brahmanas and grihastas that they get payment, but he made arrangement that they received everything that they need for life. That means they got a house or an apartment, they got food, they got clothes. Everything was arranged by the community for those who made puchari service, or I would say brahminical service. Because if everyone is employed and nobody teaches the devotees, then devotees will dry out. So nothing will go on. So we need brahmanas. Brahmanas are the head of the society. Nowadays, you can replace all the organs, you know, and different parts of the body, like leg and arms and even heart and liver and all these things you can replace, you know. But head you cannot replace until now, as far as I know. There's no head transplantation. There's face transplantation way here. That somebody transplants an ugly face and make it more new, like that. But head transplantation is until now not possible. So therefore, if you have a brahmana, qualified brahmanas in your society, you should, I would say, maintain them, if possible. I don't know. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Prabhupada in his instructions, he told, in this society, we have everything. We have Shudras, we have Vaishyas, we have Kshatriyas, that means rulers and bureaucrats and all these things we have, you know, and workers, class. But Brahmanas, we don't have. So therefore, he considered his mission is first to establish Brahminical culture, because only if Brahminical culture is working, then all other varnas and ashramas are also working. But if we neglect Brahminical culture because of Kripana mentality or because we don't see a need of it, or out of jealousy or enviousness, you know, then we are foolish. Huh? Yeah, this I told. A Brahmana should not proclaim himself, you know, he should not advertise himself, I'm the Brahmana. You have to recognize that he is a Brahmana. And he should also not say, I need so and so much money. So, so you give him donations and Krishna will maintain him. By the society, they will, Krishna will make arrangement that he will have more than enough. Like the hunter, you know. Hunter thinks I can only get my livelihood, maintain my family by hunting and selling meat. So when he met Narad Muni, and Narad Muni requested him to not kill any more animals and chant Hare Krishna, so his first argument was, but how will I live? How will I live if I will not cannot sell my meat, because this is my profession. I'm a hunter. So then Narada advised him, you just follow the sadhana, you do your chanting, and then everything will be arranged for you. And so the hunter, he was faithful. He followed that advice, and somehow or other, the fame of that hunter, that who became a Vaishnava and a pure vegetarian, it was a sensation, you know. It was sensational. It was never heard, you know, that a hunter, you know, becomes Vaishnava. Normally, when all these things, only a Brahmana can be a Vaishnava. Previously. But now a hunter even became a Vaishnava by the mercy of a great Vaishnava like Narad Muni. So then his fame spread all over, and the people came, they became very curious, and they wanted to see, become eyewitness, they want to see it. So, and if you go and you visit an Vaishnava or a saintly person, you don't come empty-handed. So you give him you bring him some clothes, some food, something, the maintenance of his life. So in the end, he got so much gifts that he got more than he needed, and therefore sometimes he had to reject and say, I cannot take more than otherwise I become an accumulator of too much. And then it will become a handicap in my sadhana, because I have to maintain so many goods that I don't need. And the Brahmana, he should therefore not be cared, you know. I would say be in scarcity, so Krishna will maintain him if he is not lazy and just greedy. That's a problem in Kali Yuga. Many Brahmanas become too greedy. They only perform the yajna so that they can have a nice donation, dakshina, a nice feast, you know, filling up their bellies. Therefore, in India, if a Brahmana has not a nice belly, you know, the people are skeptical. You are actually a real Brahmana. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. I just thought, because when we were in temple, you know, we always were, I was, for example, on the farm in Germany and doing very nice, well, for me it was nice. I don't know whether Krishna was satisfied, but service in the pujari room and helping and everything. And then the temple presidents were always kicking us out, and we should go and collect and bring the money, and the money was so important, like. And then you go out, and then you start to work, and then you see that some devotees do not work, but still Krishna provides them. And then I think maybe I made a mistake, like maybe this is something that I should not do.
Everyone has history and his impressions in his life in ISKCON. But we should not regret later on, after the years, you know, if was it right, was it wrong? I think everything was right at the time. It was ultimately we only get that what we desire, and what we, yeah, what it was destined for us, for our life school. Later on, you can consider it and you think, is it right, or was it? Can I learn something from it to maybe improve it and to adjust it a little according to my new time, place, and circumstances, and become useful in Krishna service. So everyone was distributing, and if you like or didn't like it, and so much money went lost, went down to a black hole, and always more was needed. Later on, we can lament or we can try to criticize, but that will not help. You have to go on positively. Let the history rest, you know, and go on positively. Live in the now, not in the past.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Because we always think the time was either good or bad previously, and you want to avoid it. You want to make it better now, but it's not said it will become better. Ultimately, you have to leave it in the hands of Krishna. Krishna is the supreme controller. And I'm sure that it's if you follow or practice without the false motivations or with, I would say, with some hidden motive, then Krishna will give you everything, and you become happy. And therefore, I always say the best time was not in the past. It was not in the 80s or in the 90s. It is now. Believe it or not. Because you live now, the past is gone. Think about it. You cannot bring it back. But whatever you do now, positively in Krishna consciousness, that will bring your future and will improve your life. You will become happy and satisfied, and you make progress. And of course, in the beginning, we're result concentrated and trained, you know, to create results. But after some time, you know, we should realize it's not the result what impresses Guru and Krishna ultimately. Yeah. Like many senior devotees think, oh, still I have, I should make her, I would say, create results to please Guru, that I can please him, and because Guru personally told me I should do this and that. Yeah. But ultimately, by only concentrating on this external instruction of Guru and not listening to his internal instruction to become lovers of Krishna and develop pure devotion and love to him and going back to him, this we ignore. We don't make any attempt, right?
Yes, mostly. Yes.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, more mostly. Not. We don't make attempts because we are always result oriented. Because if we are trained like that, if I'm not result oriented, then I'm a loser. And what's the use of my life? But Krishna is not seeing your results. Prabhupada is not seeing just the result. He sees also your devotion, your practice, you know, how you practice Krishna consciousness. That we should also see. Previously, maybe we distributed a lot of books, we collected a lot of money, but our sadhana was hellish. Not at all very good. But still, we could bring big results. That's mercy, you know. But now we got getting older, so we should not think, so now I'm useless. So you still can improve your sadhana now, because now we have time for sadhana, for the chant more deeper and try to go, understand and go deeper in devotional service and worshiping Krishna and hearing and chanting and remembering. And you have all time on your side for that. And if you actually use the time like that, then the day will not become boring. Never. You only feel the day is too short. I can't to do everything what I want to do. Previously, you had only one thing to do, to collect. And to chant, but nowadays you can do so many things. You can worship deities, you can prepare prasadam, you can chant the holy name, you can associate with devotees, with whomever you like. And you can have Krishna Katha, you can do so many things. Like I one time told, nine processes we have, so we are never unemployed. Can always follow one, two, three, up to 9 of these processes in the 24 hours of the day we have. Yeah. Elizabeth, you have a question?
No, I don't have.
You don't have?
No, thank you.
Okay. So then we stop here. Yeah, the darshan, huh?
Yes, darshan, yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna Balaram
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Well, everybody.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Jai Balaram, Hare Krishna.
Shri Balaram ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Rohinisuta Prabhu ki jai.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Bhakti Serbia ki jai.
Jai.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu, very much. Thank you for all.